Alright, let's dive into something that's been making waves in Montreal lately, the heated debate over Tennis Canada's plan to build a new stadium in Jarry Park. Now, on the surface, this might seem like a straightforward sports infrastructure story, but personally, I think it's a fascinating clash of priorities, community values, and urban planning. What makes this really interesting is how it's not just about tennis, it's about who gets to decide what public spaces are for and who they serve. First off, let's set the scene. Jarry Park is more than just a park, it's a lifeline for the densely populated neighborhoods around it, especially Parc-Extension. I mean, think about it, 80% of residents there don't have a yard or balcony. For them, the park is their backyard, their garden, their escape. So when Tennis Canada announces plans to expand its footprint with a new 15,000-seat stadium, complete with a retractable roof, it's not just about tennis, it's about taking away a piece of their already limited green space. From my perspective, this raises a deeper question. Should public parks prioritize elite sports events over the everyday needs of the community? One thing that immediately stands out is the lack of consultation. Michel Lafleur, from the Coalition des Amis du Parc Jarry, points out that Tennis Canada didn't even bother to talk to residents before pushing this project. In my opinion, that's a huge red flag. If you're planning to transform a public space, shouldn't the people who use it every day have a say? What this really suggests is that Tennis Canada is operating in a bubble, assuming their needs trump everyone else's. And that's where the resistance comes in. Over 1,000 Montrealers showed up to protest, with signs like Face Tunstad dans UN parking and chants of Aquila Park? Announce le Parc. It's not just a protest, it's a statement of ownership and identity. What many people don't realize is the broader impact of this expansion. Sure, a bigger stadium means more events and revenue, but it also means more traffic, noise, and heat. Lafleur mentions that the new stadium would replace a baseball diamond, effectively turning a green space into a heat island. If you take a step back and think about it, this is part of a bigger trend in urban development, prioritizing commercial interests over environmental and social well-being. And in a neighborhood already struggling with urban heat islands and limited green space, this feels like adding insult to injury. A detail I find fascinating is the role of local leaders in this debate. The borough mayor, Jean-François Lalonde, has taken a strong stance, saying the park must remain public and accessible. He's open to modernizing facilities but draws the line at expanding Tennis Canada's footprint. Personally, I think this is a balanced approach, supporting sports while respecting the community's needs. But it also highlights the tension between local interests and larger organizations like Tennis Canada, which seem more focused on global circuits than local impact. If you ask me, this whole situation is a microcosm of a much larger issue, the battle for public spaces in cities. Parks aren't just empty plots of land, they're vital for mental health, social cohesion, and environmental resilience. So when an organization like Tennis Canada comes in with plans that prioritize profit over people, it's not just about one park, it's about setting a precedent for how we value and protect communal spaces. What this really suggests is that we need to rethink how decisions about public spaces are made, ensuring that the voices of those who use them most are heard loud and clear. Closing thought. This isn't just Montreal's fight, it's a global conversation. As cities grow and space becomes more contested, we're going to see more battles like this. So, here's a question for you. How do we balance the needs of elite institutions with the rights of everyday people? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is a conversation worth having.